first of all, let's just define what a discovery call is. And it doesn't necessarily need to be called a discovery call. That is a fancy, gimmicky marketing phrase to lure people in all honesty, without them knowing that it's a sales call. So it's not quite a sales call. It's a bit of a hybrid approach. I'll explain that in a minute. But first of all, the discovery call title is not essential. Now, the reason it's called call is it's actually a sales terminology. It just means when you go round to somebody. So it doesn't necessarily mean a phone call. It's called a discovery call because it's historically known as that, but it's not a call, it's a session. You can do this one-to-one, or you can do this on a video, but it's important you see their face and you talk to them as humanly as possible. So that's again something we're going into, but it's not a call. So it can be called a discovery session, actually. I would prefer to call it a discovery session. So what is a discovery session? Just quickly, actually, before I go on any further, I mentioned that it doesn't need to be called a discovery session. Actually, it can be called a clarity session, or a deep dive session, or a complementary exploratory session. You can make it up, whatever you think really fits what you're trying to get across and that aligns with your product and your ideal target market and that sounds good. In all honesty, it doesn't really matter what it's called. I go with discovery session because that's what I learned. So we'll call it a discovery session or a call from now on. So what is a discovery session? It's a hybrid of two things. It is a sales conversation. This is so important for you to remember. You are to sell on this session. Does that scare you? It usually does, but I'll get onto that in a minute. Remember, selling is serving. But anyway, sales call and mixed with a taster session. This is the most important part I can get across to you. If you want to demonstrate the value that you've got to offer people, then show them. Give them a little taster of what's to come. Not everything. Allude to the fact that this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more to come. However, something like coaching, consulting, tutoring, any service-based activity, they're not going to really know what it actually is. They're going to be finding it very difficult to have those tangible results and things in their mind. For example, mindset coaching. What the hell are they going to get for that? That's what they're thinking. What am I going to get from mindset coaching? Am I going to be happier? Am I going to be more motivated? What does that look and feel like? I don't know. So they don't know what they're going to they don't know how to part with their money because they can't logically make that decision when they don't know what they're really getting for it. So the best thing you can do is show them, give them a little feeler, little taster of what's to come. So the discovery session is a mixture of a sales call. I'm going to go into the actual details of it. It's a mixture of a sales call and a taster session combined. So a couple of top tips before we get into the structure of it. And there's going to be a few tips dotted throughout. First little tip I'm going to give you is do your research before the call. Actually, before we even get onto that, let me just tell you the importance of a discovery call. You are never, ever going to sell, apart from a few minor exceptions, via a message. It's just not going to happen. People need to be committed. People need to have a bespoke conversation where you're addressing their needs, you're removing their obstacles, you're handling their objections. You're not going to get that done in any other medium apart from if you sit down face to face or on a video call and really have a one-to-one conversation with them. The discovery call is the bridge between people that are interested in what you've got to offer and people buying it. That is the importance of it. It is the only way. It is how I've sold every single one of my packages. And I've never sold one without it, and I've tried. It's not really possible, unless it's a low value item. And even then it's difficult, to be honest with you, it is difficult. So first little tip, do your research. Find out a little bit about the person that you're going to be speaking to. Read their social media timelines, look at their pictures, go on their website. Doesn't need to take longer than a few minutes, but just find a few bits of snippets of information that you can use to build rapport, which is something I'm going to go on to later. Something you can use to have a bit of identification, to start the topic, to just show that you've done your research. Just like when you go for an interview, they tell you to read up on the company and you throw in there, I see that it was founded in 1937 by John Edric Bull. Tell me a bit about that. That's interesting. And they know you don't care, but they go, do you know what? Fair play. He's taken the effort to read about that and learn a little bit about the company. We like that. So that's exactly the same as where your customers are going to be concerned. They want to see that you know about them, you've taken an interest in them, and you're not just they're not just a number to you. You actually have an interest in supporting them, serving them, and helping them in some way. So do that first. Do a bit of research. Now, the next step is get very clear on your offer before you have this discovery call. There's no good building a relationship, all this stuff that I'll talk about in a minute, and then you get to the end and go, yeah, so we could sort of work together, and I guess we could sort something out. I'll have a think about what we can offer. Maybe this would be good, or yeah, just let me know and we'll have a chat about about something we could do together. It'd be great, wouldn't it? It's just a waste of your time. You need to know very clearly what you're going to offer them so you can throw it down with confidence at the end like it's the exact thing they need. Be very clear around the exact package and program that you're going to offer, and offer one. Because if you give 4 or 5 different options, no matter how good they are, this is the problem. You're giving them something to think about. You don't want them to make any decisions outside of yes or no. You want them to go, yeah, let's go for it. Let's do it. Not, okay, so I'm gonna have a little think. I'm gonna weigh up the options. I'm gonna see which is a bit best fit for me. I'm gonna talk to my husband. I'm gonna talk to. You just want them to go yes or no. So provide one package and lead with that. There might be other opportunities to upsell or cross-sell to something else, but when you're putting down your price and your package, go in with one. High ticket, charge a lot of money for it. Because look, you can't justify developing a relationship with someone, creating content, warming them up, adding value to them, having a prospecting conversation, getting them on a sales call, closing them down, developing them, keeping them happy, customer service, and all of that for 50 quid. It's just not going to be feasible for you. You need to be going after high value clients. Anything else needs to be for something low level. If they want it for free, they can watch. You can read your blogs. They can watch your videos. They can read your content. If they want something cheap, then you can have some sort of product to send them via Messenger or something where you spend 5 minutes of your time on a call if you have to. But you want to be going after these sales calls between about 500, 1,000, even up to like 5,000, maybe even 10,000, maybe even a fucking 100 grand. It doesn't, but a couple of thousand, £1,000 roughly, I would say, is a good price to be going for on these discovery calls. Because the thing is, if someone's going to buy, they're going to buy. If they've built a relationship with you and they're invested and they know that you can help them and solve their problem, they're going to buy if it's 50 quid, or they're going to buy if it's 500, or they're going to buy if it's a grand. So make the most out of the people that are ready to buy, that are invested in you, that want to work with you, that have the money to spend. Because there's people out there that got money in abundance and they're going, oh, actually, I'll be honest with you, my first ever client was a millionaire. He was, and I charged him 600 quid. To be honest with you, I was over the moon with that. I was like, mind blown. 600 quid, he just paid me up front. Wow. First ever client. But in hindsight, could have got a hell of a lot more. So what a waste. He would have paid more, and he did actually after he bought it again. But anyway, it's not that I was being greedy, but you just got to make sure. Imagine if I charged him 50 quid for an hour or something. It's not worth your while. You can't scale a business when you haven't got lumps of capital to reinvest to be able to sustain you. So it's good to be able to have chunks of money. And if someone says no, that's cool. You just wait for the next person that says yes, and eventually someone will, and a chunk of cash will come into your business, and you can use it, like I said, to invest, keep you afloat, pay your bills, rather than scratching around for 50 quids here and there and adding them up and stuff like that. It also makes people committed and invested. They say it works best when you invest. When people are going, here's a lump of money, I want to get this result, they're going to take more action. They're going to be more excited about getting the result. They're not going to drop off halfway through, and it's not going to waste all that time you've done nurturing that client just to be able to lose them a week later and get 50 quid in your pocket. It's not worth it. You're doing these sessions for free. And like I said, they're going to be taster sessions, so they're getting a lot of value out of it. So make sure it's worth it by charging high ticket prices. Interview style. You don't want to be coming across as Mr. Desperate Sales Guy. Don't be like, oh, it'd be lovely to work with you. Oh, it'd be fantastic. We'd be such a good fit. Please, can we work together? Because they're going to go, desperate, needs business. If he needs business, it means he's not very good at what he does. Or she does, sorry. So if you are desperate and they get a whiff of it, it's going to make them feel like what you've got to offer is not of value. So tell them that, we're going to go into these in a little bit more detail, but tell them that this is interview. This is a chance to see if you're a good fit to work with me, just as much as if I'm a good fit to work with you. This is reciprocal, maybe not the right word. This is a two-way exchange. We're both delivering value in one form or another. Me in terms of the expertise that I've got to offer, and you with money. So it's important for us to both see whether or not we're going to be a good fit to work with each other, and make them aware that you may not actually decide to work with them. So they can start to want it, and it creates scarcity and urgency around them wanting to work with you. So be careful not to be the desperate salesperson. Cool. So let's go into the 5 stages of a discovery call. So number 1, the first thing you do when you start the discovery call is you build rapport, you introduce yourself, and you set boundaries for the call. Okay. This is the part where they know that you're coach. You call the shots. Don't think that they can come in here and start asking you questions about how to run your business and start getting some free info out of you. You tell them straight away, this is how this is going to work today. This is the layout we're following. And it goes a little something like this. Hello, thank you for scheduling the discovery call. I'm really excited to have this conversation with you. We've had a conversation via message, but it's good to actually have a real conversation and see how we can, how I can help you, and if we might be a good fit to work with each other. What we'll do is we'll just do a little introduction on both parts. Then we'll do a bit of coaching, and we'll see what you're looking for, and then we'll after if it's suitable and if it's the right fit, and we both agree on that, then we can maybe have a conversation around what a 12-week coaching program with me may look like, or X, Y, and Z, whatever it may be. So something like that. Set those expectations, set the boundaries clear. I'm coach. This is what's happening. All right. But yeah, let's start to build a bit of rapport. So I don't do much of this, but you got to, how are you? You know, where you're from, weather like. What's the weather like where you are? As good as it? Oh, is it warm? You know how to do it. We're for the British people. Apparently, the average British person talks about the weather 7 times a day. We're pros at this. We can do it. I don't need to teach you how to do small talk. Cut it small, but make sure that you do, you know, say hello and, you know, be a bit nice. Oh, that's, you know, well, so where are you from? Oh, that's interesting. I grew up around that area. You know this, you know the spiel. Don't make me go into it. Do a bit of that before you, just for a few seconds. Then do the introductions. Explain who you are. Don't be afraid to share your wins, to blow your own trumpet, to position yourself as an authority. Because at the end of the day, they may not know. Right now, you're a nobody in front of them, and you've got to sell yourself. You are your product or service. If you're a personal brand and you're delivering this product or delivering this service, then it's you that they need to buy. So don't be afraid to sell it. Go in there and say, my name's Lewis, I'm a mindset coach, and I'm a speaker, I'm a trainer. I've got 3 online businesses. I grew them to this amount of money in this amount of time. I've done this, I've got this qualifications, I do this, I do that. Just feel free to tell them about all the reasons as to why they should want to work with you. You know, and you don't mention this like it's a dick measuring contest or anything like that, but you just tell them, I'll just do a little introduction on me, you can do a little introduction on you, and then we both get to know each other a little bit better. And then you just go into that as if it was normal, not as if you're just trying to sing all your praises. And if you want, you can tell your story in short. And this is really good because if you develop that emotional connection and you evoke emotional response into something, they're far more likely to buy. People buy for emotions, and then they rationally justify those emotional decisions based with logic. So they'll go, yeah, this just feels right. I want to do it. Let's go for it. And then they'll go, yeah, just make sure, how much money is it? Okay, and what do I get for that? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. So that is what you will get if you start to connect with people, if you relate to them, if you have identification with them. So make sure you share a bit of your story. I obviously will tell a bit about, you know, what I managed to do with my turnaround and my breakthroughs and transforming my life. Tell them a little bit about what you've gone through, what's brought you to this day, why you became a coach, why you became a tutor, why you became a consultant, why you became a network marketer, whatever it may be. Just make sure that you tell a little bit about you to it, so it sounds good, and that so you can, you know, engage with them and interact with them and build that emotional connection. So that's the rapport building. Right, so we're up to that. So the next stage, now this is very important. Fact finding is called in sales. Fact finding. Fact finding is pretty much finding out facts, believe it or not. And this is going to be how you use information to your advantage. So if you ask them loads of questions, this is going to come in very handy towards the end of the pitching part of the process and the close. So something they're going to come on to later. But for right now, you need to ask them what it is they're looking for, why they're considering coaching, what their problems are. And if it, and it's specifically a little bit more in depth about the specific product or service that you've got to offer. If it's mindset coaching, ask them what their insecurities are, their doubts are, what the lack of motivation is coming from. Get a lot of information around exactly what their pain is. Because I've said it before, people buy through pain. People want pleasure, but they don't necessarily take action on it. It's not urgent enough. Just like with change, a lot of people don't change because they want something desirable. They change because it gets difficult. They change because it's painful and they want to get themselves out of that situation. And it's pretty much similar with the buying decisions. So you want to get a real deep understanding of what their pain is, what problem they're facing, and how you can help them fix it. Because if you can help them fix that pain, you become valuable to them. And if that pain outweighs the financial investment, then they're going to take it. Because what's money when you've got pain in your life, when you've got problems, obstacles? So you want to ask questions. This part of the conversation should be around 20 minutes. By the way, got to mention this, discovery call, it needs to be a minimum of 45 minutes. And that's because I've got mine down, so I'm getting better at them. I would say to start with, a minimum of an hour. Needs to be an hour. Some coaches, if you're selling high ticket coaching and you're going after maybe a couple of £1,000, I would suggest 1.5 hours. Sometimes if they're red hot and you think you can close them, 2 hours. Because at the end of the day, what's an extra hour to you, when you could potentially get a nice chunk of a couple of £1,000, when potentially 1 hour wouldn't be enough to convert them over to a customer, and you've just left it right at the end. Right before they're about to buy and invest, you've gone, I'm out. And then you're going to go and focus on a cold lead. Hi, how you doing, mate? You all right on Facebook? No, you've got someone red hot sitting in front of you like, I want to work with you. Don't just cut it short. So schedule out a minimum of an hour. If it's going good, 1.5 hours. If you want to throw it in there, I've done 2.5 hours before. But then if a couple of grand comes back from it, it's worth it, isn't it? So anyway, if we're basing this on an hour, then let's structure this in intervals of fact finding would be about 10 minutes. Rapport building would be about 10 minutes, telling your story to a certain extent, setting boundaries of the call. The next stage, fact finding, this is about 20 minutes. This one's to be really important. This is where they start talking. You ask them questions, but they start talking. Yeah, well, it all started here. Oh, I used to have this, but this happened, and the business isn't going to. And it depends on what you're coaching or what your service is or what your product is or what you're trying to offer. But once you ask some questions, they'll start to give you answers. But they're not answers, they're information that you can use to your advantage in a little while, and I'll explain that in a minute. But make sure you ask them questions, you listen to what they're saying. Top tip alert, do not try and coach them yet. Do not think about what you want to say to make yourself seem good at what you do. Listen to understand, not to respond. This is the biggest mistake I ever made when I first started doing discovery sessions. I was talking to people, I was asking them questions, and I was going, oh, I know something I could say that will sound really good now. I'm going to say that in a minute. That'll be good. They'll love that. Trust me, I can't wait to say that. They're going to be blown away. And then I say it and they go, huh? Because that was 10 minutes ago or a minute ago at least. And it's just sort of out of context, right? And then you miss what they're saying. So make sure you really understand their pain. Not just their pain, that's one part of it. In the fact finding, you want to get the whole spectrum. You want to work out their pain, but you also want to work out their desires, their goals, their expectations, their dreams. Yeah, you want to work out everything that they're looking for, from the removal of the pain and to the desired outcome. If you can remove the pain from their life and get them to their desired outcome, you become extremely valuable. But you don't use that to your advantage yet. You just get all the power, you get it in your arsenal, you get all this knowledge, you just hear it, you listen to it, you absorb it, you get it ready, you're like ticking, ready to sort of unleash your powers, but you hold it in until you've got more information and more. Don't try and respond to one piece. Get it all in, get it all in. You can obviously interject and give bits of value throughout. You can, if there's a point where you can respond, yes, okay, you can give bits of value. Don't completely shut up, but keep your long spiel of how you're going to change their life and how you're going to help them with the coaching or the consulting or the opportunity. Keep that for when that stage is ready. Keep on asking questions. Keep on getting a deeper understanding of the prospect, what they want, what they don't want, where they're at right now, what hasn't worked for them, what has worked for them, etc., etc., etc. Ask questions, ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. Okay. Fact finding's done. You've got all this information in your arsenal. You're ready to do something with it. Now you need to demonstrate value. Now you don't sell. We're not selling yet. That comes later. So now you want to demonstrate value. I'd say this is another 20-minute piece. This is where you literally, there will be times where you're asking questions and you're conversing to and fro, but this will depend very much on your product and service. If it's coaching, consulting, or a service base, it's probably going to be quite similar. But what you're basically doing now is you're demonstrating the value that you can offer based on the problems that they've got, or based on the desired outcome they've got. You just start coaching them. If you're a coach, you start coaching them now. You start giving them advice now. You start telling them about books you've read, anecdotes you've heard of, things that are going to give them those epiphany moments where they're like, yeah, you're right, or wow, that's really good, or I never saw it like that before. You're giving them value straight away. They're already getting value from you. Okay, you're giving them a taster of what you have to offer. You're not giving them, like if it's a coaching program, you're not giving them an entire coaching program. They know this is progressive. They know that there's lots done behind the scenes. They'll explain that later. But right now, you're just giving them short, sharp bits of value, your best bits. Show them what you're capable of. Show them how good you are at what you do, to the point where they go, fuck me, if that's for free, can you imagine what I'd get if I paid for it? But yeah, so demonstrate value. Don't worry about necessarily too much about what they've said, but you know, we come into that when we're explaining how we can help them in a bit with the pitch. But right now, you're just demonstrating value. But of course, you can demonstrate specific bits of value that are going to be aligned to the problems and the desired outcomes they're looking for. So yeah, to just give value, coach, give advice, give anecdotes, give quotes. You know, just give everything that you've got. Don't align it. If you're a coach or a consultant or a mentor or a counselor or whatever, don't feel the need to put yourself in a box. Don't go, oh, sorry, that's not a coaching question. I don't feel comfortable with asking that. Don't go, oh, sorry, we're diversifying slightly in the counseling. Now, give them the value that you've got to offer. You're a person. You're individual. You're not a bloody counselor or a coach or a consultant. You are you. I am Lewis Raymond Taylor. I am what I am. I might put a label on it to make people understand a little bit about what I do, but it's completely bespoke and individual. So I don't just do one thing or the other. I go, right, that's your problem. Let me fucking give you everything I've got now. Let me just give you everything I've got. Let me see if this helps. You let me know what you think of it. And the reality is they're going to like it and they're going to want more. Okay, so give them value. Now we're on to the pitching part. Now this should only take probably about 5 minutes, but here is the clever bit. So if you remember, we went back to the beginning, we got clarity around the product or service you've got to offer. Of course, it's going to vary depending on what product or service you've got to offer. But let's just say, for example, it is coaching. Okay, you've got a 12-week coaching program. Now, here is where you break down it all in all its component parts. First of all, just a little bit aside of the discovery session, always selling programs, because like I said, it's better for cash flow, it's better for commitment, it's better for them getting, putting down an investment of their time and resources to be able to get that result. It's better for you because you can work with people over a long period of time rather than chasing your tail for new clients every day. But not only that, but it gives you the opportunity to start selling them on an experience rather than an hour. You know, don't ever, 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 top tip, another top tip, don't ever, 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 ever sell your service as an hourly rate. Because as soon as you do that, you devalue everything that it's worth. You are not selling an hour of your time. You are selling an experience which solves their problem, which gets them to the desired outcome. They pay for the result, not for your time. They're paying for everything you've ever learned, all your experiences, all your talents, everything that you've got to offer, all your thoughts behind the scenes, all the messages, the emails, the questions, the strategizing, the progression in between the sessions, your thoughts, absorbing their problems, taking on their emotional challenges. That is what they're paying for, not for bloody an hour of your time. So never say 60 quid an hour or an hour, 100 quid an hour, or 20 quid an hour. Don't ever do it. We're selling them an experience that's going to solve their pain and get them to the desired outcome. And guess what? We know what that is now because we've bloody well asked them exactly what it is they want. And coaching, consulting, all these things, they're very fluid. They're very bespoke. You can create your own program. Yeah, they're called a program, and they might have some structure to it, and you might have some exercises and some things you generally do with people, but you can give people exactly what they want based on exactly what they need. Ask what they want and give it to them. If they've got all these problems, they're looking to have all these desired outcomes in their life, and you can go, do you know what, I'm going to wrap everything that you just set up into a program and make sure that you get that. Well, how can they say no? You've given them everything they need. So here is where you sell them an experience. You tell them about everything that they're going to get during these 12 weeks. You don't just tell them about the hour that you get on their time. You break it down into each individual section. So let me give you an example. So with my 12-week coaching program, some of the things that I include in it, for example, are, first of all, we start off with a 2.5-hour breakthrough session. So first, I'll tell you why this is powerful, because they get excited. They're like, yeah, I can kick things off. I can get going straight away with a 2.5-hour breakthrough session. The marketing word's poignant in it. Breakthrough. I want to break through. Yes, it's going to be something that I can look forward to straight away to get going. So that's something that you can add on as an experience. It's not an hour. It's part of their program. They get a 2.5-hour breakthrough session to start off their program. During this session, what we'll do is we'll map out all your expectations for the 12 weeks. We'll get really clear around everything that you want so we can set tangible goals to make sure that you get exactly what you want from that program. You're managing all their objections now. You're saying, look, I will give you what you want. During these 2.5 hours, we will find out what you want and we'll construct that into a program. So how's that? And then we're going to come onto a money back guarantee later. Well, I will explain that a bit later. So you will basically say, in this 2.5-hour session, we'll map out everything you want, all your expectations, what a realistic outcome would look like for you, what manageable goals we're going to set to be able to move you in that direction. If it doesn't look like we're going to hit those goals over that first 30-day period, you can have all your money back. So you've just eliminated risks for them, and you've handled their objections by telling them that you are going to set expectations together. So because this is the main objection people are going to have. They don't know what they're getting, and they're not confident they're going to get the result that they're looking for. If you tell them, we will give you that result, all your money back, and not just a result, not just what I think is going to be good for you, but what you want. We find out what you want, and then we give it to you. So yeah. That's one part of it. So you can see how I've already started selling this program. The first component, I've already started selling it. It's already starting to sound good, right? It's not just I've gone, yeah, so that's 60 quid an hour, please. Or that's £1,000 for 12 weeks, please. That's shit. Let me tell you a little bit about how the 12-week coaching program is going to work. First of all, we kick things off with a 2.5-hour breakthrough session, right? During this session, we'll map out all your expectations. We'll get laser focused around what you want. We'll remove everything that's holding you back. We'll set goals together so that we can progressively move you in that direction, get any closer to where you need to be, week on week on week, until eventually you get where you need to be. 30 days into the program, if it looks like you're not getting to that point, and we're not fitting together, or I'm not delivering the value that I said I was going to deliver, then we'll give you 100% of your money back. Complete money back guarantee. Again, I'm going to come into that, but that's just something you could do straight away. They're like, Jesus, sounds like a no-brainer. Then you say every single week, if this was a coaching program, for example, every single week, and just really emphasize everything you're saying. Every single week, we're going to have coaching sessions, one-to-one coaching sessions. You say that's how I'm saying this. It's so much more exciting than 60 quid an hour. So every single week, we're going to have one-to-one coaching sessions. I'm going to be asking you challenging, thought-provoking questions. You're going to be uncovering things about yourself. We're going to be removing things. And here is the key part. We start to bring things we've heard in the fact-finding session. We start to hook in to the things that they want and things they don't want. Say, for example, the person says to me, I just want to be more confident. I just want to be more confident and I want to grow my business. That's all I literally care about. You go, right. Every single week, we're going to be having challenging and thought-provoking questions. We're going to be working predominantly on confidence. We want to get you the most confident that you can possibly be so you can go out there and execute in your business, take action and set goals every single week. Can you see how they're just going to be like, damn, this is like the program for me. Jesus, because it is the program for them, because you're making it for them. If you find out what they want and you can demonstrate that you can give it to them, you will get the sale. So yeah, so you hook into all of these pain, all of that information that you got earlier, you put this into your program. And then week 2, something I like to do is, so for example, they may say motivation. Motivation is a big thing for me. Say week 2, or sometimes toward the middle of the program, wherever you want to put it, we're going to start to think about motivation, intrinsic and extrinsic motivation, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, top tips that you can use to get yourself fired up, things that you can do to work on yourself, to create insight, do an inside job to sort of create that constant source of motivation, working out what you want, why you want it, so you can really get fired up to start taking action in your business. Remember, they said they wanted to be in their business. So far, we've got confidence, motivation, and business. Keep on going back to those things, or whatever they've said, whatever they've included, go back to those things. Keep on talking about them. Keep on making them very obvious that you have got the solution that solves their problem. And you have got the solution that gets them to their desired outcome. Constantly going back, drilling into all of the information that you've gathered. That information is power. Use it. Don't forget about it. Keep on going back into it. They would have told you a lot of things, 100 things. Mention one by one every single thing. So that it's not just one thing they're fixing, it's everything. And you mentioned a bit about your life as well. I know this is a mindset coaching program, but look, I want to do everything I can to help you. And if developing your life is something that's going to support you to feel more confident and to take action in your business, then tell you what, week 3, we'll start off by doing a wheel of life. We'll map out all of your life and all of its component parts, and we'll see what areas are lacking. And then we'll set tangible goals in each individual area to make sure that you're developing all the areas of your life, so you've got more consistency and balance in your life, so that you can start to feel more complete. And this will have a knock-on effect with all other areas of your life. And if you want your business to succeed, I'm more than happy to help you with your life as well. Bespoke, yeah? It's giving them what they want. This is not, 12-week coaching mindset. You up for it? Grand. This is, let me see what you want, and I'll give you everything I can to give you those things. Look, we do weekly coaching sessions, but don't think that I'm going to leave you in between those sessions. That's just one part that we communicate on a face-to-face basis. I'm going to be your coach. I'm going to be beside you one-on-one. I'm going to be doing everything I can to ensure you get where you need to be. If you need to pick up the phone, you phone me. If you need to drop me a message, you drop me a message. You want to send me a detailed email, forward me on a link to the website, a picture, a video you've seen, you send it on to me. I'll be doing everything I can to ensure you get where you need to be. Yeah, we might have weekly conversations, but this is an experience. This is a cumulative, progressive experience that bounces from one week to the next, with you making consistent progress in every area of your life, in everything that we're doing, inside and outside of our sessions. I mean, how much better does that sound rather than coaching sessions? This is an experience. This is a program. This is a coach, someone that's going to stand by you and get you where you need to be. It's irrelevant that it's coaching. This is just somebody that's there that's going to get you where you need to be. That's what you got to get across. Each individual area, really emphasize it. So whatever you've got, like for example, I don't know, but whatever parts of your business that you have, if you haven't got any parts of your program or package or service that are standing out, make some up. It's not hard to go. And I will also provide you a free copy of my ebook. This ebook is called Brainwash: How to Sort Your Head Out and Make Things Happen. It's a great mindset book. It builds a foundation of you to develop and grow upon. So that's the first thing I'm going to send you. It's insignificant, it's free, but it just adds more value to what you're offering. And it stops people looking at these individual hourly rates. So say, for example, you sell £1,000 for 10 sessions. Straight away, they'll go £100 an hour. It's not hard to do. When you start incorporating all these different elements, they can't do that anymore. They can't work out what it is an hour. And they just go, they stop thinking hourly, and they start thinking about what they're going to get out of it. And it's then your job to explain to them what result they're going to get from working with you. And if you keep on hooking in to all the things they've told you that they want, then you are basically saying that money equals their desired outcome. They don't care how you do it, what the hourly session rate is, or whatever it is. It's the experience that they start to get invested in. You map out that program, you sell it like a whole, you spend 5 minutes talking about it. And if you run out of things, you add other things on. You make things up if you want, not that you're not going to deliver them. You start adding an extra thing in. Say, for example, someone says to you, do you know what? I just really don't really have many, say, for example, it's coaching, life coaching. I really don't have any friends. I really love that really one-to-one time. You say, and you know what I do? Once a month during this 12-week coaching program, once a month, we're going to meet up and we're going to have a 2-hour walk in the woods, and we're going to walk while we coach. For example, never done that before, but if someone would benefit from that and you think that's the thing that's going to tip them over the edge, chuck it in there. It's 2 hours of your time. You can charge that. You can add that money onto the price if you want. You can make up whatever price you like. It's your business. It's your value that you have to offer, and you decide how much that's worth. But just give them everything that they want plus more. So they start going, wow, he's hitting it from fucking every single angle. How can I possibly say no to this? This is what I need. And he's demonstrating so much value that this is for free. Fuck me. He's done all this for free. Can you imagine what that program must be like? It's going to blow my mind. It's going to change my life. I need to see what this is all about. I can't just risk not taking advantage of this, right? So now We come into the close. Now, this is why it's so important to have clarity around, this is the point 5. This is why it's really important to have clarity around what the program is before you start going. Before you start having a session, you need to know what you're going to offer it, what package you're going to offer, apart from the little add-ons and things like that, and maybe a bit of extra on the price. You need to know roughly what product, service, program, experience, whatever it is that you've got to offer, and what price that is. Because when it comes to it, you don't want to be umming and ahhing thinking how much you're going to charge. Can I get away with this? Can I get away with that? It's 500, please. It's 400 if you want, or 3 if you really like. If we can do 3, you don't want to do anything like that, right? You want to be selling that experience and then having that price in mind with confidence, owning your worth, and throwing it out there like they're going to get a deal of their fucking life if they say yes, right? So you go for that 12-week coaching program, for the 2.5-hour breakthrough sessions, for the weekly sessions, for all their work behind the scenes, for the walk in the woods, for the PDF video that I'm going to send you, for everything that I'm going to do throughout that 12-week period to get you where you need to be. It's £1,000. And then you shut the fuck up until they say yes. You go silent. Right, it's their job, yeah, because you can keep on talking and talking and talking and talk your way out of it. You go £1,000, and they'll either go, and they'll go, shit, he's serious with that, he's confident with that, like he's thrown that number down a few times, and he owns that. He must be fucking, he must, you know, he or she must really know that product is of value. This sounds good. Do you know what? Let's go. Let's do it. Right? If they say no, stage 5 is close and objection handling. Close and objection handling. Now, did you know that statistically speaking, a sale is closed more often on the 7th, after the 7th objection? People typically say no 7 times before they say yes. Oh, I don't know. I'll have to do this. I'll have to do that. Handle it. Don't say, oh, okay, no worries. And don't ever, and this is another top tip, don't ever say, right, so that's how much it is. It's £1,000. Let me know how you get on with that. Have a little think about it and get back to me. Thanks. Yeah, take care now. Bye. Because what you're basically saying is, I'm scared shitless now at what you're going to say. So rather than getting a no, rather than you rejecting me, I'm just going to reject myself. Powerful, that is. Rather than letting you reject me, I'm going to reject myself by making it impossible for you to say no, by just leaving. Don't be afraid to get the no, because if they say no, you can change it around into a yes. And if you do get a no, who gives a fuck? You'll get a yes another time, right? But don't not give them the opportunity to say yes. You've just done all that hard work. Let them say yes. So you put down that coaching price, you tell them it's £1,000, and you don't say, just let me know what you think, or have a chat with your husband, or have a little think about it and get back to me, or if it's the right fit, give me a call, or let me know in the future. Don't do any of that shit. Just say £1,000, see what they say. If they're going really silent and like that, just say, how does that sound? It's normally what I say. I don't pause that long. I sort of go, it's £1,000. How does that sound? And I go, yeah, it does sound really good, actually. And they go, yes. The number one you'll get is, I need to think about it. And then just ask them. Don't be afraid to ask. Say, look, I want to handle your objections. I'd love to work with you. Can I ask you, is what you're thinking about? Can I help you? Can I help answer any questions for you? And they go, yeah, to be honest with you, it's just a money thing, really. Okay, so, and then but actually, if it gets to money, it means you haven't demonstrated value. So that's more of an indication on your part, because if they know you can solve their problem, that money won't become an issue. But in terms of money, let me just give you a few little pointers. You can actually offer them some payment plans. Don't ever offer them first, because I know somebody that I told this once to, and I said, offer them payment plans, and now they just lead in with the payment plan every time. And what a surprise, everyone takes a payment plan. Have it in your arsenal, so if they say no and it's about price, first of all, if they ever say no to price, you go back and you deliver more value. Don't be afraid after the close to start going back to coaching. Go, okay, fair enough. You're not really in the financial position right now. Okay, so tell me a little bit more about sort of why you're looking to grow this business. Okay, so why is that so important to you? Right. So what would it mean to you if you was to be able to grow this business exponentially over the next 6 months? Start coaching them again. Start offering them more value. Start making them realize what this is going to do for their business, for their life. Make them position it as an investment as well. make sure you know that this isn't expense. This is something that if they invest, they're going to get something back. Make sure they know what that is that they're going to get back: a clearer mind, a better business, a better life, better relationships with their partner, more opportunity, whatever it is. Make sure they know what that investment is. But if it is price, then yeah, you can offer them payment plans. So chuck it down at £1,000. If they say no, then you handle objections. You go back to value. Worst case scenario, then you go, okay, I do like to accommodate people with various budgets. So what I can offer you is 3 months at £347 a month. Go back to the close. How does that sound? Yeah, that sounds a little bit more manageable, actually. Okay. Is there anything else stopping you from maybe saying yes today? Yeah, to be honest with you, I'm just a bit scared. That's all it is. I told you, if you don't ask for their objection, you won't get it. You can't read their mind. They might tell you that they want to go away and think about it. They might tell you that there's someone at the door or some of that shit. Reality is there's some objection in there that you need to find. Because if you find the objection, you can handle it and you can close the sale. So say to them, what is it? I'm just a bit scared, actually. I don't know what, and say, and handle it. I completely understand you're scared. I remember exactly what it's like myself. All I can say is I'm going to do everything I can to support you. I'm here. I'm in the same position as you. I've done the exact same thing myself. I remember what it's like. I want to take you on a shared journey, one that I've been on myself. You don't have to be scared around me. There's no judgment from me. Are you worried that I might judge you or criticize you, or have you got trust? Is it trust? Do you find it's difficult to trust? Yes, trusting. Okay, well, if you want something you've never had, you must be willing to do something you've never done. You can come up with all sorts of shit, but just keep going until they go, yeah, I guess you're right, actually. Yeah. How much was that again? £1,000. Okay. And what do I get for that? Oh, you get the. Yeah. Do you know what? Let's just go for it. Yeah. Just keep on going. This is a sale. It's a sales call. This is your business. This is your livelihood. This is you serving this person. If you sell to them, you will be able to help them. Get it in your mind that you are going to help change their life. You're going to help get them to their desired outcome. You're going to remove their pain. You're going to do all sorts of things. If you sell to them, you're able to help them. If you don't sell to them, you are failing them. So you've got to dig deep. This is your business, not theirs. They've come to you and they've said, I'm on a discovery call. I'm open and receptive to you selling to me today. Some people feel comfortable if they've been sold to. They want to be persuaded into something. They don't want to feel like they just give their money away or they make decisions too easily. They want to be sold to. I'll be honest with you, I personally have to be sold to. If someone can't sell to me, it's an indication to me that it's not for me. I want to be sold. I have to be persuaded. I actually physically will say, you're going to need to sell it to me. That's something I say, you're going to need to sell it to me. I want them to persuade, argue, handle my objections. So don't be afraid to sell. Don't be afraid to get a no. Don't be afraid to handle objections. Keep pushing forward. It doesn't have to be salesy and really pressurizing. Come on, you want to do it? Go on. It doesn't have to be like that. You can just say, what is it you're concerned about? What is the reason as to why you wouldn't say yes today? What could I do to make things a little bit more comfortable for you to take action today? Find out what that thing is and talk about it until they're happy, and then you go again. So should we get started? Tell you what, I want to take action straight away. So this is that. You can sometimes tell them, assumptive selling this is, you can just sort of tell them what you're going to next do. Right. So you happy now? So you say something like, they say, oh, it's the money thing. Oh yeah, so we can do 3 months, 3 payment plans, 3, 4, 7. Sound good? Right, okay, what we'll do, yeah, you assume they've said yes. What we'll do is we'll get that 2.5-hour breakthrough session mapped in within the next 7 days. Okay, my VA will be in contact, or I'll send you an email. We'll get that booked in. And then we'll start having those challenging, thought-provoking questions, getting it all mapped out, get those goals and expectations set so we can get you exactly where you need to be, develop your confidence, improve your motivation, and start building that business. Remember, hook it into all those things. Just tell them they've agreed already, it's going to happen, and you're hooking into all their pains and desires like you have done for a final time, and then they're just going to, cool, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. Cool. Okay, can I get an email address from you? Ask them something to get their acknowledgement. Give them something to... Ask them something to get their commitment, their email address, something like that. What's your email address, James? Oh, it's james.smith. Subconsciously, that's them buying it. That's them signing on the dotted line. They've agreed. They haven't said no. This is a little bit of a sleazy sales tactic. But if you've done enough value and you've done enough objection handling, then you're at the point now where you can probably just go, do you know what? I'm going to make this decision for you. Don't be afraid to coach them on their decision. Don't be afraid to say, let's do this. I'm here to help you. We're doing this now. This is happening. So what we're going to do, James, is we're going to get this mapped in. I'm dedicated to getting you this result. I'm the best person to help you for it. Look, this is another thing. Have belief in yourself. Don't go in there like, yeah, I think I can. Yeah, I think I could probably. I reckon I could probably help you with that. Own your worth. Realize what you've got to offer. Highlight all your skills, experience, expertise, and value that has brought you up to this day, and throw it down like, do you know what, James? I'm probably the best person to help you with this. I can be more confident that I'm going to get you exactly where you need to be. Steve Jobs had the reality distortion field. I don't know if you've heard of it. The reality distortion field was where he believed that something was possible even if it was impossible. And through that act, he would actually make things happen. Things that were proven impossible by geniuses. Just because he was so confident and had so much belief that they would happen that eventually he would take the action, they would materialize. So it'd be the same with this. Even if you have a certain element of self-doubt, if you believe wholeheartedly that you can support them in that way, and you go out there and take the action necessary to make it happen, you will support them in that way. So even if you don't wholeheartedly believe it right now, you own it like you can. There's a money back guarantee if shit hits the fan anyway, which we can talk about in a minute. But yeah, own it. Really, I'm really confident I can help you, James. Honestly, I really like to work with you based on everything you've said. I think we've got a really good connection and rapport going on. Couldn't be more fitted for the program. So look, let's get this mapped up. Let's get this booked in. I'm free next Thursday and Friday and Saturday. What's your availability like? Can you see this is quite assumptive? It's sales happening. When are you free? Let's get this booked in. Are you free on Sunday? What's your availability like on Saturday? Just go to it. It's like in my old days of sales, I used to say things like, so anyway, can we start by taking the first 2 digits of your sort code? It's like in my first telesales job. And they'd be like, 2, 0. I don't even know why they're giving it to you sometimes. Anyway, that's really dodgy, but I've learned this from somewhere. Anyway, so that's it. And you close it down. You handle the objections until eventually they say yes. You assumped and you assume that you're going to get the sale if they're not going to buy straight away. And then you tell them the next steps. You book something in, you get their email address, you tell them what you're going to do. You don't leave it in their court or tell them what they need to do or tell them you'll get back to them or have a little think. You say, this is what's happening. I'm going to do this now. We're going to get you where you need to be, James. Can't wait to do it. Confidence is going to be through the roof. Business is going to be smashing. It'll be the best decision you've ever made. Shit is the fan. You have your money back. And we'll go on to that. So let's go on to that now. So I mentioned it earlier, but the money back guarantee is very, very powerful. 9 times out of 10, less than that, nobody actually ever asks for their money back because you always deliver the value that you're going to offer. You know, when someone's giving you like £1,000, £2,000, £5,000, £1,000, 50 quid, whatever it is, when someone's giving you money, you're like, shit, I need to deliver now. And you pull out especially if someone's going to give you a chunk of money. If someone gives you £1,000, you're going to be like, right, I need to make sure I deliver everything to this person. They need to get their money's worth, or was they going to be pissed off? So, you know, you're invested just as much as they are. So don't worry that you're not going to give them the value. You bloody well will. You will give them the value. And if you just tell them, if you don't give them that value or you're not the right fit, you can have your money back. And all the time I've been doing it, it's actually happened again recently, but this is more down to more of a business. The model wasn't quite matching up. It wasn't what they needed in the end. But in terms of the mindset coaching, it happened once, money back guarantee, and that was because the guy was an alcoholic. I suggested he looked at the drink, and it wasn't what I was coaching him on, but I suggested he looked at it and he ran a mile. But he got his money back, and that was that. But for everybody that I've offered the money back guarantee, that's had the security and the trust in me that they have that peace of mind to get their money back, for all the extra clients that I've got from doing that, yeah, the one that I've got a refund every year is really insignificant. Yeah, it balances out. So even if you're worried about people who are going to like take your money, they're not going to. Just give it there for peace of mind. Tell them, look, we'll do a 2.5-hour breakthrough session. We'll even do 3 extra weekly coaching sessions. You'll have me on the phone. You'll have me as your coach. If it's not the right fit, I don't demonstrate the value that I said I was going to offer, you can have all your money back. I don't do this for money. I run a business, but I do this to help people. And if you're not happy, then you can have all your money back. And I'll be more than happy to make way for somebody else that would be a better fit for my coaching. And I'll be more than happy to find someone that might be more suitable for you. What objection do they have there when you say that? You say, look, I'll give you a 3-month coaching, basically. By the time they've done a month's coaching, they've made that commitment, they've made that decision, they've made that investment, they've started doing it, they've started getting the results from it. Do you think they're going to want to get their money back? Of course they're not. They're going to want the other 2 months, or they're going to want more of it. They might upsell and buy something else. Okay? So offer that money back guarantee. Another thing, create scarcity. Little top tip, create scarcity. Tell them that your prices will likely go up. Like mine, well, I won't go into the exact prices, but mine they've times by 4. It quadrupled since I started, quadrupled. So just mention that, look, I'm not trying to be an idiot or, at all, but I'm just letting you know that my prices do go up periodically based on demand. The more clients I get, the more I have to charge to better fulfill that demand. So there is a very strong chance that my prices will be going up over the next couple of months. So if you want to take advantage of this price, you might want to jump on that now. Scarcity makes them more likely to buy right now and then, because they think that they don't want to miss out on something. The whole FOMO, fear of missing out. They want to get the best possible rate. They don't want you to be full. They don't want to come back to you in a month's time and realize that you've got no places left. So create scarcity. Tell them your prices might the prices might go up, but also, like I just alluded to there, tell them that you've only got a few spaces available. Just tell them. Is that a lie? I guess that's a bit of a white lie, honestly. Unless you have got a few places available, it's up to you. You might only take a few places into your coaching. You might not want like 20 clients. You might only want 5 or 10 or whatever it is. You can say, I'm only taking on a few more clients, or at least a few more clients this month. You might not want to be inundated with enrolling new people every month. So it's not a lie. It's just depending on how you position it. To just say, I'm only taking on a couple extra people this month. So if you want that to be you and you want to take advantage of this price, you might want to act soon. So yeah, create scarcity. Something that Jess brought up the other day that I wanted to just mention. Don't be too friendly. Be friendly, but go in there like an authority figure. Make sure that you're not there to be their mate. You're there to offer value. You are friendly and nice, but you're not there talking about their weekend and their girlfriend and having a bit of banter and joking and laughing about. You can do a little bit of it, but make sure you're going there professional with something of value to offer. You're not going to hand your mate over in the pub a couple of grand, but you are going to hand over a professional that's going to help you get you where you need to be. And that leads me on to the authority piece. You need to position yourself as a respected authority, not just from a mindset point of view, because from a mindset point of view, you need to know that you've got value to offer them. And if you're not positioning yourself as an authoritarian, someone that can deliver immense value, then you're not going to be confident to throw that price down. You're not going to be able to say it's £1,000. Yes, I can help you. So you need to go in there with, yes, I can help this person. Yes, I'm a professional. Yes, that I am above this person, because you've got to be coach. You are the dominant role in this relationship. You are coach, they are coachee. It's not a mutual arrangement. You are there to coach them. So make sure you own that to the point where they see it, they can feel it, and they know that you've got something. You're going to guide them. You're going to be a leader. You're going to support and inspire them to get them where they need to be. So that's the authority piece. And yeah, that is basically it in a nutshell. So let me just run through all of those things in very snippet. So what is it? A discovery call session is a mixture between a taster session and a sales conversation. If you're a mindset coach, you coach them. If you're a business consultant, you coach their business. If you're a French tutor, you teach them on French. If you're a personal trainer, you educate them on fitness and nutrition within this call. You give them a taster of what's to come, not the whole program, the whole experience, but you demonstrate value to them. You do your research on them. You look at their website, their social media, find out information that you can use to build rapport. You get clear on your offer. You know exactly what it is and what you're going to offer so that you can throw that down with confidence at the end. You go for high ticket prices, you maximize on every prospect and sale, you don't scratch around for 50 quids, you go after the 500, £1,000, you get them on a sales video call or face-to-face, you don't do anything via message. People don't buy from message phones and stuff like that. They need to have that real life interaction. Do it as an interview style. You're not a desperate salesman. Make sure that they know it's an exchange of one value from another, from them giving you money and you giving them value in terms of knowledge and expertise. Make sure that they know that it's a chance for you to see if you're a good fit to work with them, and if they're a good fit to work with you. It's not a one-sided thing. Take them through the 5 stages: building the rapport, introduction, and setting boundaries. The second stage, fact-finding. Third stage, taster session and demonstrating value. The 4th stage is pitching your products and services. The 5th stage is close and objection handling. Make sure you build authority, demonstrate value, evoke that emotional response, throw that price down with confidence and pause like it's the best offer they've ever had. Create scarcity, don't be too friendly, position yourself as coach, and just make sure they know that every single thing they're looking for, you can deliver over that one experience, and they are fucking lucky to take advantage of the service and the price that you've got to offer. Boom! Would you buy it? I want to buy it. I'm actually sweating because of that. I went in. I have literally just given you a gem of gold there. I've never seen that much value explained in a discovery call session before. Like, this is the number one thing that you can use in your business to sell anything you want. You can make up a product or service. based on if you just find someone that has a problem and you get them on a call and you've got the value and the expertise and the experience or the education or the knowledge, to fix their problem. If you use that model, you can charge thousands of pounds. Like, you can build a 6-figure business in a year very easily. You can charge, I do this and I sell, the maximum that I offer as one of my packages is I sell these for I sell an experience for £7,000. And I do this on calls that I've not even ever spoke to people before, and I close them down. My close rate started at 1 in 5 when I first started going, 1 in 5. So every 5 people I spoke to, I'd close 1 sale. Then it went down to 1 in 3, and now it's 1 in 2. So every 2 people I speak to that are qualified, I can sell to. And you can do exactly the same. This is the valuable things that you need to include, but this will come down to experience. You'll get better and better. I wasn't as good as like what I've just explained there. When I first started, I didn't know what I was doing. When I first started doing it, I used to not even give them value because I wanted to make sure they paid for it. I was like, oh, no, I'm not giving you that yet. You'll have to pay for it if you want to see what I've got to. I tried all sorts of things, and there's no right or wrong way. There are different ways of doing it, no doubt, that work as well. But this is a great way of doing it. If you're outside your comfort zone, just remember that I actually fucked my first one up. You remember I said to you that, listen to understand, not to respond. When I first had my first ever discovery session, I was thinking about this great motivational speech the whole time she was talking that I was going to give her. And I said it, and she just looked at me like, what the hell's going on? Like, you've just not listened to what I've just said. And she was right. She didn't say that, but we both knew. I fucked the first few up, and I still fuck them up occasionally. Well, actually, I probably don't anymore, because this is the power of having a niche as well. When you've got a niche, you know exactly what these people's problems are. You know what their desired outcomes are. You know what their problems are. You know how you can help them, because you've spoke to people like them day in, day out, every day for ages. So like these sales conversations, you don't even need to have the fact-finding session, really. You go straight in with it. You know everything. You know what they're going to be looking for. So it becomes easier and easier and easier the more you do. You're out your comfort zone now. Don't feel like you need to include every single bit in that. That is like the ultimate formula that I've just explained there. If you do that, you will fucking sell. And if you don't, you just keep on going through the numbers until you will. If you speak to someone, they say no. You speak to someone, they say no. You keep on going. Someone will say yes. Doesn't matter how much you charge. You could charge £100,000. Eventually, someone will say yes, because there'll be someone out there. Well, it's not even that someone out there that has the problem that you can solve, because you've asked the problem and you've told them you can solve it. So you just got to find someone that's got the money and prepared to invest in you. And you can do a lot of the hard work behind the scenes by warming them up before you even got on that call. If you're writing content on social media and you position yourself as an authority and you're sharing your story and building that connection with people, then a lot of the hard work will be done before you even got on the call. So yeah, let me explain a little bit about how to get people on the discovery calls. I mean, that might be another session, but it will be another session. But just in summary, you can just reach out to people that have engaged with your posts and things like that. If someone's liking or commenting on your profiles, they're basically saying, hey, let me put myself on your radar. I like, just think about the actual act of liking a status. I like you. I like what you have to say, which means they're already in the first stage of their funnel. They're trying to get closer to you. And it's your opportunity, it's your responsibility to bridge that gap between them reaching out and them buying. So you demonstrate a bit of value. So like a 0.01% of this discovery call, you just ask them a couple of questions, you give them a little bit of value, you give them a reason to book a discovery call with you, basically. So you say, okay, so if it's confidence or mindset, you just say, so what are your number one obstacles when it comes to mindset? Okay, you're not very confident. Okay, well here's 2 tips that I find really helpful with confidence. And they go, oh, that's really, really helpful. Thank you so much for that. That's brilliant. And you go, look, well, actually, I think I can help you a lot more, actually. If you'd like, what we can do is we can jump on a complimentary discovery call. During that session, we'll create a clear vision of your future. We'll see if we're a good fit to work with each other. And I'll also demonstrate a lot of value in terms of coaching and see if it can help you develop your confidence and get you where you need to be. They're going to be like, yo, let's jump on that. Right? So can you see how that process would work? It's possible to do it from a completely cold. Right, well, of course it's possible. I've done it loads of times. I've done it random, add you, message you, get you on a call. So I've done the whole thing in a day once. Like I literally just went add, message, do you want to have a quick call? Got on a call, sold it. Sometimes I go, right, I want to make some money, and I go out there and I just make some money on the day, there and then, in an hour, because you can do it once you get good at it. So this process fucking works. So make sure you listen to this, because this is really, really valuable. You can sell anything. And once you sell one business, you can sell it with another business. The process is the same. just different product that you offer, different service you offer. The process of rapport building, introduction, setting the boundaries, fact finding, giving them a taster, demonstrating value, pitching your products and services, linking it back up to the information you've gained, and then closing and handling the objections. You can sell any product or service you've got to offer, whether it's somebody else's, you're an affiliate, or whether it's your own, or within a business. Doesn't matter. You can use this in so many different capacities. So make sure you nail it. It's really, really valuable to your business. So there's an hour and 10 minutes training from me.